are a couple of Nintendo Switch games that are spiking up in price right now. This is something that I want to cover on this channel a little bit more often because, believe it or not, this is actually a relatively regular thing that happens with the Nintendo Switch. I'm not exactly sure why, but more often than not, a lot of Nintendo titles actually become very, very expensive. Not even just first-party titles. Outside of first-party titles, there are other games that get quite expensive. Like, if you look up rare Nintendo Switch games, you'll find a lot of games that are north of $100 pretty easily. Especially if you're delving into the realm of sealed games and things of that nature. These games get quite expensive, at least the niche ones, the rare ones. And I'm not saying every game gets incredibly expensive or anything like that, but it does happen to more games than you would expect. And the most recent occurrence of this is actually Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and the DLC, the expansion for A Torn of the Golden Country. If you have a physical copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I mean, it's going for quite a bit. We're talking about cart only. eBay listings, I'm seeing $74. New copies are a little bit more expensive at, like, this one was new and it was $84. I feel like that's a pretty good deal if you picked up Xenoblade Chronicles New for $84 right now. But here's one, a pre-owned copy that's complete, $93, $70 for cart only, $70 cart only, $90 for a complete copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then Torn of the Golden Country completed. This one was bidded on. That means multiple people bidded on this copy of Torn of the Golden Country, $91, and maybe this is because of the characters coming to Super Smash. I'm not sure exactly why. It does seem to be sold out, like, everywhere. So it is heightening in price. I imagine at some point Nintendo is going to reprint it, but general wisdom is that when Nintendo reprints games, it's done by, like, you know, with the greatest hits release or Nintendo Selects release or something like that, which is a little bit unfortunate, and those are lesser in value, so that is something you have to ascertain. Here, I just saw a listing that's $116 for Torn of the Golden Country that's sealed. That's insane to me, given that we're talking about games that are relatively recently. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out back in 2017, at the end of 2017, 3 years ago. That's not that long ago. Torn of the Golden Country, even more recent in that sense as well, so that's pretty crazy. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, if you want to get a physical copy of it now, you do have to kind of pay an arm and a leg for it, unless you find a good deal or something of that nature. It is absolutely worth the money, but if you're just looking to play the game, probably going the digital route would be your best bet, so bear that in mind. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, $70 to $100 for pre-owned listings. More often than not, we're looking at $70 for cart only, upwards to $90 to $100 for a complete copy, so that's kind of insane. Also, another one I want to notice, now this is through limited run games, Ys Origin, the collector's edition. My copy just came in the other day. I paid $80 for it, and bear in mind, we are getting these copies of Ys Origin Collector's Edition relatively recently, already on eBay being sold for $150 to $200. Now, if you look at completed listings, it's going to be a little bit different. $150, a bidding ended at $120, $125, $140, $150, so around $130 to $150 is what the bids and the buy it nows are ending at. But right now, if you look on the listings that are available, you're looking at $150 to $200, and again, people just got their copies in of this relatively recently, so you're talking about getting Ys Origin Collector's Edition in, and right away it's spiking up in price. I had a feeling that this was going to be a rare item just because I have a lot of the Ys Special Editions from, like, the PSP days. Like, I have the Oath and Falcana Special Edition, I have the Ys 7 Special Edition, and those are worth a ton of money now. And I was just like, okay, this is going to be worth something, just because Ys does have that hardcore fan base that I knew, even if it's not right away, in 6 months to a year, it was going to accelerate in price. That's why I also put in a pre-order of Ys 9 Monstrum Nox, the special edition of that, which was only available online. I'm not going to resell anything. I just think, you know, as a collector, sometimes with games that I really enjoy, I like to have the special editions and things like that. I'm never going to go around buying things and trying to turn a profit. With the Ys Origin Special Edition, I'm probably going to end up opening it anyway because I do want to play that on the Switch. Nevertheless, if you guys are interested, this is a side of the Switch that I do want to cover because I find fascinating just figuring out what games are going to spike in price, what games aren't, and it's something that's very interesting to keep up with. Just a while ago, it was like Sakuna of Rice and Ruin came out, and the special edition of that game wasn't spiking in price. The base edition of that game was sold out everywhere, and it was the most confusing thing ever. So it's kind of fascinating to see how things like this actually unfold. But that's going to wrap up this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. Again, I plan to do it a little bit more, kind of a little bit of a market watch series where we can see, prices that are a little bit disgusting at times, but I still think fascinating when you're talking about the gaming marketplace, especially as it pertains to Nintendo Switch titles. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.